Gee, Tony, I'm having trouble with this assignment I'm on.
Well, you know, I got so desperate with my last assignment that I went and asked in the library.
Yeah? Who?
One of those reference librarians.
Oh, yeah?
Well, at least I can work out the catalogue. And you know, they've got stuff in that library you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
To some people, a library is a collection of books. To others, it's a place where such collections are kept. And to others again, it is organised information. This program looks at the college library in terms of its various collections, where they are located, and some of the ways of getting to the information you need. To some of you, the library is primarily the general book collection, and this is certainly the largest collection of material in the library. To most of you, it is BRR, Basic Recommended Reading, or Reserve Collection. The serials collection, that's journals or periodicals, newspapers, annual reports, things which are published at regular intervals, is the place to look for up-to-date information in any particular field. Another advantage of journal articles is that they are generally short and fairly specific in their content. For obvious physical reasons, maps don't mix with books very easily, so they live in a separate map library. They're used for all sorts of things, including bushwalking, car rallies, and even geography assignments. The audio-visual collection too is separately housed in the Media Centre and includes films, videotapes, records, audio tapes, and multimedia kits like this one. The reference collection always sounds very impressive, but it's really a collection of shortcuts. Dictionaries, encyclopedias, bibliographies, directories, books which tell you where to find more information. Also in reference are all the past exam papers, if you need them. All these and more make up the library, and the key to it all is the card catalogue in the foyer of the main library. As we said, for most of you, the library is BRR. So let's look at how you find a BRR book in the catalogue. The author title catalogue, because generally the author or title or both is known. There are several points of entry into this catalogue. Any name associated with the book will get you in. The name of the book, the name of the author or co-author, the name of the sponsor, sometimes even the name of the series. However, only on the main entry, usually that for the first author, is the book shown to be on BRR. The plastic sleeve marked Basic Recommended Reading is placed over the main entry card. In BRR, there are in fact two collections. The one in the reading room itself, marked with white labels and for extended loan, is only second and subsequent copies. The one behind the BRR loans desk, red label, restricted loan, holds a copy of every title in the BRR collection. To find a white label copy on the shelves, you need the call number, shown here on the catalogue card. You also need to be early. If you're not, make use of the red label copy, which you ask for by the main entry. Remember, that's usually the author's name. You either know the main entry, or can find it from the card you looked up in the author title catalogue in the foyer. So to get your BRR book, you need only 3 pieces of information: location, call number, and the main entry. And they're all on the catalogue card. To find a book in the general collection, you approach the catalogue in the same way, preferably through the main entry card. For this book, the main entry is the author. You can find out if a book is on loan by asking at the General Loans desk. All you need is the accession number from the bottom left-hand corner of the catalogue card. This particular number represents the 9,132nd book received in 1973. If the book you want is already on loan, you may reserve it by filling out a card at the loans desk. The library also has special collections, most of which have special locations. Look for the location symbol attached to the call number. For example, reference, map library, and the single asterisk denoting college archives. The archives hold copies of college publications. Even Caesarean is saved for posterity. A separate section of the catalogue lists all the serials the library holds. Serials is an umbrella term. It covers publications which are issued regularly, are usually numbered, and which keep on coming indefinitely. These are all serials. A serials card has less on it than a book card has. A serial is usually found by title. You'll notice that only the periodical or newspaper is named, and not the individual articles in it. You cannot find journal articles through the catalogue. Also on the serials card is a note of the extent of our holdings. These numbers translate as, the library has all copies from Volume 2, issue number 41, to the present time. Volume 2 was published during 1972. You are also told about changes of name, gaps in the collection, or that we have miscellaneous early copies. Every serials card, like every other card in the catalogue, has a call number, so that the item can be located on the shelves. But it has no accession number. The loans desk records serial loans by the call number. The current year's journals and all the newspapers are available in the serials browsing room. All earlier journals are shelved in the general collection. The author title and serials catalogues only give you locations for books and journals you already know about. What happens when you have an assignment that you need to research yourself?
I was wondering if you could help me. I've got a report to write on the disposal of solid and municipal wastes, and I don't know where to start.
Right. What sort of report do you have to do? What level are you? First year? Second year?
No, this is a final year unit. I've got the whole thing here. The scope that I'm looking at is the economic and ecological problems associated with the disposal of domestic garbage and refuse.
Now, domestic is what? Is it household only, or is it all city garbage but not industrial, or what? Where's your cut-off point? This is the beginning of the search. The topic is analysed out into a list of key words. These words are then used as entry points to the subject catalogue.
I'd like to see the different methods of collecting material and the various methods of disposal, particularly a recycling point of view, and, the ecological problems associated with the stuff that isn't recycled.
Well, I think you might need some journal articles as well, but we'll start with the subject catalogue and try to find some books. Now, the catalogue headings tend towards American usage, so probably the best one to start with would be trash. Trash says, see refuse and refuse disposal, right on your topic. Now, you always check the first card after the subject heading, just in case there are other subject headings you can use. For example, their incineration might be useful. So add that to your list. And on the next card, there's sanitary landfills. Now the next thing to do is to check the subdivisions of the heading to see if there's anything specifically Australian. Now see, there's Indiana and Great Britain, nothing on Australia, nothing on any of the states either. Well, we might try incineration and see if we get anything from that. Oh, only one book listed. I wonder what other subjects it covers. Now, you see, you look at the bottom of the card and you'll see all the subject headings that the book was given. Nothing new here, but this is a good trick if you happen to know a useful book. You look it up in the author title catalogue, look down at the bottom of the card, there are the headings we've given it. If there's one book on your subject, there may be others. So there's a quick way into the subject catalogue.
Oh, how about sanitary landfills?
Right. Oh, now, of course, you realise, of course, that we file here by word, so that San Francisco comes long before sanitary and so on. State-of-the-art study, 1974. Now, that'd be spot on, and it gives a good review.
Oh, magnificent.
Grab a pencil and write down the call number. TD 795.7.N35 1974. Now the accession number, in case it's out on loan and you want to reserve it, 7505649. You'd better take the author as well, just in case. If it is on BRR Red Label, you'll have to ask for it by author.
Oh, I see. Who's the author here?
National Centre for Resource Recovery.
That's an author? A heading like that?
Yeah, that's an author. Company.
I thought it was always Bloggs or Smith or something like that.
No, not all books have individual authors. If a group of people get together and write a book, then it belongs to the group, not the individuals. Once you have, often you've got no idea who the people are anyway. The government can be an author, IBM, BHP, anyone like that can be authors.
Well, let's have a look on the shelves for that one.
Okay. Now, there's TD. What's the rest of it?
795.7.
794, 798. Looks like someone's beaten you to the punch on that one. But still, you've got a wealth of other stuff there.
Oh, look, here's another one. National Centre for Resource Recovery. That's the same author we're looking for.
That's it.
Well, no, it's a different number. 794.5. But it's still spot on. Resource recovery from municipal solid waste.
The search is not a failure just because the first book chosen from the catalogue is out. The books close by on the shelves are on similar topics, and one of them is often just as useful. It may have equally valuable content, or it may have a bibliography or reading list which throws up new leads. In this case, the lead was the word glassfalt. That's glass recycled into a road paving material. And this suggested a look in the subject catalogue under road construction. Another way into the subject catalogue is through the Library of Congress subject headings. They translate your words into subject catalogue terms. You start with a heading, either a word or a phrase, say refuse and refuse disposal, and then look in the following list for words that may be closer to the idea that you're really pursuing, such as recycling. You avoid the centre block of synonyms, because they'll simply take you back to where you started. Then you take the words from this list back with you to the subject catalogue.
What are these books with the yellow labels?
Oh, they're ordinary books as far as borrowing goes. It's just that they haven't been given subject headings yet. Once you've discovered the right letter group, like TD, you always browse in the yellow labels. You'll often find a yellow label book that's directly relevant. They are like this one on the environment in South Australia.
Gee, that's beaut. There's a whole series of chapters on just what I wanted.
Once you've learned to use a library, the problem of not finding enough can easily turn into finding too much. and then all that information has to be read, digested, and turned into a report or an essay. But there are books that guide you through the pitfalls of note-taking, writing up and setting out. The library provides typewriters for student use, and also there are widely advertised typing services available. Remember, a library is organised information. The catalogues and the reference librarian are there to help you in all stages of an assignment, from the first analysis of a topic through to the final presentation.